Alright guys, for this video, we're going to take a look at this example that I gave you and asked you to attempt on your own. Hopefully you did at least attempt it. If not, no worries. Hopefully you'll get the answers you're looking for. So it says the average age of people who frequent the local bar is 28.6 years old with a standard deviation of 2.9 years. If you decide to visit this bar 4 times in the next week, what is the probability that the average age of its visitors will be greater than 30 years old? So the 4 things we need from this are our average, our standard deviation, our n, and then our proposed average, or in other words, our sample average. So we're going to look at which average is which first. So our mu is actually going to be our 28.6, and that's because this is like the population average. This is the exact average, and it's been collected over the course of many, many years. The standard deviation is, of course, 2.9. It says it right there. We're going to visit the bar 4 times, so that represents our n, or our number of samples. And then the sample average we're hoping to see is 30 years old or greater. So now that we know all this information, we can plug it into our equation. Let's do so now. So our equation is z equals x bar minus mu divided by sigma over the square root of n. Well, we know that x bar is going to be our sample average, mu is going to be our population average, sigma is going to be our standard deviation, and n is going to be our sample size. So let's go ahead and fill those in. Again, the sample average was 30. We're going to subtract from that our population average, which was 28 point something. Let's see, 28.6. Okay, down below, we are going to also have to put in a fraction. That fraction is going to be our standard deviation, which was 2.9 divided by the square root of 4. Okay, well, if we move on with that, we know that 30 minus 28.6, well, actually, I don't know what that is, so I can find out real fast. 30 minus 28.6 gives us 1.4. So we can go ahead and write 1.4 as our numerator. Down below, we have 2.9 divided by the square root of 4. Well, we know the square root of 4 is 2. So we can say 2.9 divided by 2. Let's find out what 2.9 divided by 2 is. I got 1.45. So we can now continue this to be 1.4 divided by 1.45. Right. So 1.4 divided by 1.45 gives us approximately 0.97. So this is going to equal 0.97, and that's going to be our z-score. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at 0.97 on our z-chart. I actually have that handy right here. So 0.9 is going to be right here. We're going to follow it until we get to the 7th one, which is right here, which is 0.8340. Let's go ahead and write that down as well. 0.8340. Now we have to ask ourselves, is this going to be subtracted from 1? Well, it will be if we are looking for greater than, but if we're looking for less than, we can just keep it. Let's go back to our example. So it says, what is the probability that the average age of its visitors will be greater than? Remember, if it says greater than, we have to subtract from 1. So let's go ahead and subtract this number from 1. 1 minus 0.8340 is going to give us 0.166. And there we go. The probability that the average age of its visitors will be greater than 30 years old is 16.6%. And this is going to conclude the video for how to solve for this problem. Thanks.